Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM WRDM. Brian Winnikins from Commodity Classic. And thank you to our Commodity Classic sponsors, including the Wisconsin Soybean Association, Synergy Co-op, Wisconsin Farmers Union, Osteoplastics, Compeer Financial, and Silo, the Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, Alcivia Co-op, and the Wisconsin Corn Growers Association. I'm joined by Ken Rosenow. He is a Wisconsin corn grower, and we're going to talk with Ken a little bit about some of the things going on not only on his farm, but also here at Commodity Classic. Ken, thanks for joining us this morning. So, Ken, first tell us about the farm.
Okay, well, our farm is in Waukesha County in southeast Wisconsin. We're kind of between Madison and Milwaukee. We grow corn and soybeans and a little bit of wheat, and still have a few animals, so we grow a little bit of hay too.
Now, growing up in New Berlin, I know Waukesha County very well. And there's some issues always with, I know in the city of Waukesha, they've had issues with their groundwater, and it's not agriculture related, but what are some of the things you do on your farm to help protect the groundwater and the soil?
Well, as you know, if you're from that area, we call the area I'm in a lake country. So we have some of our farm that borders right up to Ashippun Lake, and I grew up on Fowler Lake there. So some of the things we do no-till planting. We have been doing that since the 90s, the early 90s, and we've been doing cover crops now too. I'm involved in 2 or 3 farmer-led watershed groups, and previously, when the National Corn Growers had it, I was with the Soil Health Partnership too, so I've been quite active in a lot of those things.
Talking with Ken Rosenow. He's a corn grower from Wisconsin here at Commodity Classic. I know Lake Country very well. My sister and brother-in-law live there, and all of the fishing, and I'm sure you probably enjoy all the fishing activities on those lakes, so it's pretty important to you personally to protect that water.
That's right. Our land has been in the family for generations, and now my son just built another house on the farm kind of just across from Ashippun Lake, and he's very interested in fishing. So, it's very important. I got my kids and grandkids growing up there, and we want them to have the healthiest soil and water around and be able to enjoy all the lakes. I'm also involved with the Ashippun Lake Management District, and they have just done some surveys, and I'm really proud to say that they say that Ashippun Lake is one of the cleanest lakes in all of Wisconsin, and our field borders about a quarter of that lake for hundreds of years already, so I'm kind of proud that we have that reputation.
Okay, now I'm going to ask, and I'm sure I'm not going to get the answer. Where are the best fishing spots on that lake?
Nope, not going to tell you.
Well, I tried. Oh well. Well, let's talk about, Ken. What are some of the things that you've been doing here at the Commodity Classic?
Well, we had a real interesting resolution session in Corn Congress. Now, one of the most important things that I thought, and of course there was a lot of resolutions we talked about, but I think crop insurance is very important, and there was 2 resolutions that came up in there kind of relating to that. One was that some people in other states wanted to bring up a resolution to have a permanent disaster program, kind of like what was implemented with all the COVID stuff and that. And that resolution was defeated, and I think that's a good thing because I think we want to protect crop insurance. I think if we're coming too many times to the trough here, that it's not going to look good, and we want to keep the crop insurance. And then another one related to that, I know if you go to the FSA office, you have to check that little box if you make over 900,000. So what they were talking about with that too, that if any farmers were making over 900,000, that they wouldn't be eligible for crop insurance because crop insurance is so heavily subsidized. But we're against that because you need that crop insurance pool to be as big as possible to get all that money in the crop insurance. So I'm happy to say that went our way too. So.
Talking with Ken Rosenow. He's a corn grower from Wisconsin here at Commodity Classic. Ken, you're also on the Grains Council, and I'm sure that in Corn Congress and Grains Council and everywhere else here on the floor of Commodity Classic, everyone's talking about the situation with Mexico.
Right. Just about a week or so ago, we had our Grains Council meeting, and I'm actually on the Western Hemisphere A team where we handle all of that. And Mexico, of course, has been one of our biggest customers. Uh, and kind of, no offense against you here, Brian, but kind of in the popular press, it's come out, well, they've kind of backed off on that a little bit now, so maybe it won't be so bad. But really, from the corn grower perspective, we have that USMCA, and the law is the law, the agreement is the agreement, and we're kind of want to draw a line in the sand that they have to live up to that agreement, because I think if we start, even if it's just on the white corn, if we start letting them get away with stuff, they're going to just keep whittling away. So we have to protect the agreement we have and make them stand up to that.
Well, the other part of that is okay, if they start here, then what's next? And even our friends at the Soybean Association are like, this isn't going to end well for everybody if we don't stop this now.
Exactly. So, yeah, we're going to be very firm on that, and we want the government to take action and have a lawsuit if that's what needs to be.
Finally, Ken, before we let you go, for farmers listening who have never been to a commodity classic, why should they come?
Well, of course, if you're involved in corn growers, there's Corn Congress, that's important. There's all the educational sessions, which is tremendous. The trade show is outstanding, but I think the best thing for me is just the people. Yesterday we ate lunch at a table, and there was growers from Canada there, and we were anxious to get back to the trade show, but it was just so interesting talking with them. And you get to talk to these people, and they have some of the same issues, maybe some a little bit different, but everybody's all working together. And when you have a chance to talk to other people and learn from them and know what you can do to work together, I think that's really one of the best parts of the show here.
Ken Rosenow, he's a Wisconsin corn grower. We're at Commodity Classic. I'm Brian Winnikins for WRDN.